We have got Dr. Sue Brown. Dr. Brown has been educating the next generation of sports leaders in a role as Director, International Sports Management at Federation University, Australia. Dr. Brown has been, a thought leader and voice for women and girls in sports. He's been a long-standing advocate of women leadership in sports, as well as the importance of sports education programs for youth, schools, and local communities. Dr. Brown, we actually stand with your beliefs, and that's the reason, very unconventional in India to start a career event with sports as a career. India, as you know, is a large country, but sports is not necessarily seen by a large majority as the career or a priority career. So I think we are breaking that cliche, and it is amazing to have you today with us and talk about careers that kids can look both in as sportsmen and beyond. We also have Mr. Stephen Potts with us. Stephen comes with decades of multi-domain experience, ranging from sports management to management consulting. He's been a CEO of multiple sports organizations and associations. The equivalents of the sports authorities of India and the Badminton Association of India and the Wrestling Federations of India. I'm just trying to give an analogy to it. He's currently working as the director of World Academy of Sports, where he's responsible for corporate and government engagement. Our third speaker for today's session is Nikhil Malhotra. Nikhil is, for many of you, if I have to introduce Nikhil, is a dreamer on a mission, right? I think he's beyond what he does. He's also an excellent example of entrepreneur. I think if some of you are interested in entrepreneurship, it makes excellent sense to catch Nikhil offline. We will surely share his email ID with all of you, ping him, and trust me, the kind of energy that he can bring in. So with this, I would invite Dr. Brown, Steve, and Nikhil to take over. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you, and I'm sure the audience would have plenty to gain from your insights. Please.
Thank you, Arun. Yeah, maybe Dr. Brown, you can start with the presentation. Steve can share the one. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And welcome everybody. And we're really quite excited to share with you about where the careers in sport can go and what you can do to one day perhaps fulfill that dream. And as you can see in our background, we've got the passion to profession, and that's where we're very passionate about sport, and there are a lot of opportunities out there, and we truly believe that we can turn that passion into a career, a long-term career. I'd like to hand over now to my colleague Stephen Potts from the World Academy of Sport, and he's going to talk about the careers that are available. Then I'll come in later, and then I will sort of show how how you can fulfill those careers one day. So thank you, Stephen.
Thanks, Sue, and good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. And it's our absolute pleasure to talk to you a little bit about the sports industry. We'd like to try and explain to you where some of the careers may be and where some of the prospects may be for you in the future, and how this program would help you get there. And it's quite a large industry, as you'll see, and there are lots of different career paths. So if you're passionate about sport, if you see yourself in that as a career, and helping athletes, running events, working in the business or the HR side of things, there's some really good opportunities we'll talk to you about. One of the things we normally would ask is in your chat room, if you'd like to just list there what sport you're interested in or what you participate in, just to give us a bit of an idea of where we're sitting. We know we've got lots of students and teachers and parents involved today, and we'd just like to try and tailor that to a little bit. So one of the things we really talk about with this partnership in particular is the education experts with Fed Uni and the industry experts with World Academy of Sport coming together to deliver some great educational for you and positioning you at the front so that you can clearly hit the ground running with your career. So I just wanted to introduce you to a little bit about World Academy of Sport and talk a little about the structure of sport and how the industry operates as a whole and where those careers may sit. So for World Academy of Sport, we are World Sports Education Partners. So we work with most of the international federations, all the mega events such as the Olympics or Paralympic Games, World Championships, and talk to them about their learning strategies and training of their workforce. So we work at that coalface. So we're in a really good position to talk to you about what the trends are. And we also work then with Federation University to talk to the CEOs or the chairman or the people actually running the events and the associations and taking their key learnings and putting it back into the course so that whilst you're going through, you're actually learning about what's actually happening and what's preparing you for not only when you graduate, but also that next 5 or 10 years of your career so that you can hit the ground running. So you can see a lot of the partnerships along the top there. So whether that's through skiing or basketball. So we actually, they're our main partners. If you might see your sport of choice there, if not, we still work with most of those sports as well. Also work with governments around the world. So really be able to bring that knowledge through to you. As I mentioned, so we have the educational experts with Fed Uni and industry experts, and really trying to bring that knowledge through to you so that it's not just static learning from books. We actually have developed video case studies, written case studies, so we can actually take an event and, you know, we might look at, so Tokyo Olympics has just gone ahead. How have they had to deal with COVID? How have they had to modify? What impacts did they have on the sport? What impacts did that have on the teams in selecting their athletes, bringing them through to the games, preparing them for the games and actually running the event? So it really brings that knowledge and keeps you up to date in that real world experience. Also gives us the opportunity to run and so Dr. Brown will talk later about some of the opportunities for work placements to go and work with those international federations so that you're at the coalface.
Stephen, can I just quickly interrupt you? With the number of sports that came up, soccer was popular, basketball, hockey, swimming, gymnastics, archery, skating and mountain biking were the ones that I quickly just took a note of. Just as of interest, all of those sports are all in the Olympic Games. So if you've got that passion, there's really great opportunities to, you know, work at the international. I just wanted to just add to that. Keep going, Stephen.
Fantastic. So, and let's not forget the Winter Olympics, because we do have them starting on the 4th of February and very excited to see our winter athletes performing as well. One of the things we wanted to give you an idea about today is the value of the industry. So the industry overall is valued at over $750 billion US dollars. So when we look at the size, it's a significant economic impact. When we look at the mega events, so again, the Olympic Games, we do include the Football World Cup in that, as we mentioned soccer before, with costs for those events really exceeding or regularly exceeding over 10 billion US dollars to put it on. So we can see there's a really major business that sits behind that. And as we're seeing governments getting behind, particularly Indian government getting behind sport and building facilities and encouraging more people, you're seeing the size of those local facilities increasing and the scale of the offer in those facilities increasing so that we can get more people active for all of those health benefits as well. This is leading to more career opportunities and more jobs for people if they want to go down the sport pathway. So some of the initiatives changing the face of Indian sports, and certainly the IPL is one that's now globally recognised. Clearly, there's a massive passion for cricket. And I did see a question in there about someone wanting to be a professional cricket player but not sure they're at the right level. This might give you another avenue. You know, with the program being online, it gives you that flexibility to continue to try for your athletic goals. If not, we're training you, you might be the next manager of one of the IPL teams, or working in the coaching side or the exercise science side, but plenty of different opportunities for you. I'll just skip over. The other government support is the Kello in India. So the government getting right behind, you know, promoting for sport for women, or whether it's with disabilities or the peace and development. So really trying to get behind not only in the elite pathway and that talent search, but also that physical fitness and with school children. You know, we talked about badminton before, and through the BWF and then Indian badminton, you know, we're seeing some great school programs being rolled out across the country as well, and many in other sports. So again, if the government's getting behind, so in this case, the Indian government and your state or regions, it's actually showing that they're pushing and support so that there's some good career paths for you, giving you confidence for that career in the future. Another way of looking at it is sponsorship. It shows the economic impact from and support from the corporate world. And so sponsorship in sport is continuing to grow. We're seeing that, you know, overall a growth rate of 19% from, you know, moving through. That's continued. COVID has had a bit of an impact in our grassroots sport. We're still, you know, professional sport has been able to operate in a bubble and is leading the charge back. But we're seeing grassroots sports, that groundswell, as we're moving into the next stage of COVID and hopefully past that, our grassroots sports continuing to grow and get more and more kids through into the system. Just briefly wanted to, and Dr. Brown, jump in at any point in time, just talk a little bit about world sports structure. And he'll hear us talk about international federations and mega events. And I just wanted to try and put that into perspective for you so you can understand how it works. And so we look at world sports structure to start with. It literally operates as a bit of a pyramid. And at the top of the pyramid, we have the international federations. So in this case, it might be BWF, or the Badminton World Federation. Then they have regional federations, which may be Oceania, America, Europe, and then leading down into national federations. So in this case, the Indian Badminton Federation. So each country then moves down. We have the International Federation moving down to the National Federation, which then may move down into leagues or clubs and down to the athletes themselves. So as the base gets wider. At each different level, there are different requirements or different services for the sports to be able to provide. So from an event point of view, you know, there's at the top of the pyramid, we have our mega events or Olympic and Paralympic Games, World Cups, World Championships. As you move down, then we have national, regional events, and then through to mass participation or community sports. And each level requires different skills, different resources, different facilities. So we can see different opportunities. You might like to work with the elite athletes about them being the best, or you might like to work with mass participation sports. So maybe in running, or again in badminton, where we're trying to get schools involved, or we're trying to get more and more people into a mass event. So different levels requiring different skills, all of which we will prepare you for. We then have the professional leagues, and they sit a little bit to the side of the normal sports structure. And so examples there, you know, with the Premier League with football, or National Football League in America, or the Indian Premier League, particularly for yourselves. And then facility management. So again, we're seeing that continual improvement of the community facilities, but then looking at, when we talk about different level events, they require the different level facilities. So some facilities are just built for community sport and to engage and get mass participation. Others are built for an international event such as the Olympic Games. So they're set at international standards and working with the international federations to make sure they can deliver that event, such as the Australian Open that we're seeing at the moment in tennis in Australia. So some careers in sport. Again, very varied careers, and I'm just trying to skim through this. I know we don't have a lot of time today, but so we have those business fields in sport. So whether we're talking promotions, sponsorship, marketing and PR, or events. The development and management is really, really important with that club development and getting people involved and activating through sports, through schools, and getting them, the community involved, healthy, happy, and then moving into that athlete pathway. We then have more an operational focus, whether that be project management, through to facility management or sports administration and logistics. We have other streams that sit under there. You'll see sports lawyers, sports technology. Again, we have the exercise and sports science, which Federation University are very well known for as well. And then we have the athlete management, which sort of sits on the side, and coach, player management, player welfare, and the like that sit there. So quite a diverse opportunity for you to look at. We tend to try and talk about the whole of sport and give you snippets into all areas. And then as you move through with your career, that you will specialise a little bit more, but we want to give you a taste of the whole industry to start with. So again, event management, we talked about that at different levels. I won't go into too much detail there from time. So again, the professional leagues, so the IPL, looking at the different structures, whether you look down at the managerial side of sport, whether you look at the coaching side or dealing with the athletes, or when you're looking at then the sports science and looking after them, there's different roles at different levels. And again, in football, Liverpool is another example. We won't spend too much time there, a bit short, apologies. And I might hand over to Sue just to talk a little bit about the Bachelor of International Sport Management and how it comes together.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Stephen. One of the things I'd, just before I talk about, well, how can you pursue that career and what you need to do as far as further education to be able to get these fantastic jobs. There are some things that are actually changing within the sport industry and the sport management side of things, and the social media, digital media, marketing media, and the use of technology and digital is now becoming more and more advanced and is being applied and used in the sport area. So if that's an area that, you know, if you're looking to really make yourself, that's quite an exciting and innovative area of managing sport, digital media is now becoming very, very highly used, and the same as with data analytics, using big data to help inform different trends. You know, how do people, you know, who's buying memberships? It looks at the behaviour. So there's sort of areas too that are really are now becoming hot property. If you've got those skills in the work area, they are becoming very, very highly sought after. So it's quite exciting. So one way that you can actually get your career and what you need to do as far as further education, you would be looking at an undergraduate degree, and we offer a Bachelor of International Sport Management. Now, this degree is being developed in partnership with the World Academy of Sport, because we wanted to bring and make it as contemporary as possible to be able to have the industry and experts informing what we teach in the degree. So we've really tried to be quite innovative in that sense too. Now, this degree is offered wholly online, so it's been designed for what we to be able to be engaging with online learning activity. So that's something that we're really, really proud of, and we started this process back in the beginning of 2019 before COVID hit. So what it is, and our students that are going through it now are actually finding it really quite engaging, because it allows them to do the online learning and participate in the online learning activities in their time. It's not, they don't have to be sitting in a classroom, or they don't have to be sitting in front of a computer at a set time. You can work through it, which is what students now are doing, are finding it very, very really exciting, and it's really enjoyable for them. I've just noticed sports journalism. Yes, sport journalism, that's part of the media, sport media, and we have got one of those courses within this degree which we are looking at. It's looking at media marketing and as well as sport media and public relations. So it's something that now you really need to have those skills. Even if you're not a specialist sports journalist, you need to have those, even working for a national or international federation. So thank you, Stephen. Next slide. One of the things that what we've done in this degree allows it for those that perhaps have got are pursuing a sports career or sort of that budding athlete, and this degree is being designed in mind to be able to allow people who are interested in sport and participating in sport and have training commitments and competition commitments to be able to combine it with education. Because what we do know that a lot of athletes, as they become more involved and go up higher, that it's really difficult for them to combine education along with the commitments of training and competition. So that's something that we've really also in mind. We've developed this degree to allow athletes to be able to do that and combine the two, so that having that flexibility. And we know for athletes that maintaining a dual career for them, it just helps to they actually achieve better in their athletic goals, their performance. So it's something that's quite beneficial for them, because what we find, if an athlete, they become all consumed in their sport, that, you know, they might have a 5 or 10-year career or a 15-year career, and then when that finishes, they haven't got any education to go on and to work after their sport. So it's really important that they get that balance. Thank you, Stephen. So the degree that we've put together has been informed by, you know, with the experts from World Academy of Sport, and we've really tried to make this degree that is quite, can be general enough to be able to do those wonderful careers in sport, because it's quite broad. There are a number of lot of opportunities. So instead of just focusing on one area or one profession, what we've done is that we've tried to make sure that we cover all different aspects. So we have courses within the degree that are looking at, you know, sort of the international sport management. It's looking at, you know, sport event management, human resource managing, that's managing staff and managing people and volunteers. We even have a course about international sports law. We have things like sports finance, sport policy, and looking at sport venues. So these sort of really sort of general important ones to have. But we also know that there are careers in sport development and athlete management. So what we've done as well is to provide courses that look at how we manage sport development, how we manage sport performance, high performance athletes. We look at managing sport injury prevention, because that's really important. Head concussions are really a big global topic at the moment. We've, you know, just for contact sports. We've also included marketing and digital media, because as I said before, we know that that is going to be very, very a big part of sport and the way that we manage and market sport. So we have digital media marketing, sport media, applied sport marketing within that. We also have touched on health and physical activity, because people, not everyone's going to be an elite athlete. So we have to understand how we motivate people and how we market to people, how we get them involved in sport, even at just at the community level, because we know the value of health for us. We look at health promotion. We've also included research and data analytics for sport management, because once again, that is one of the hot topic areas. Now, what's really important, we've also got, and I will touch on before I finish, is that we have a work integrated learning component to this degree, and this is absolutely critical. If you are doing any further education, or you're doing an undergraduate degree, one of the things that you really have to look at for your employment opportunities is that whatever you do, it's really important that you choose a degree that has some component of working within the industry, having that integrated learning, because that's where you actually get jobs. We know by research it is very, very important. So I'll just talk about those in a minute. The other thing that we've done, and I haven't mentioned it so far, but we have specialised elective courses in the degree as well. Things like esports, player agent management, and we also look at, you know, the major sports and like the Olympic Games and things like that. Thank you, Stephen. So just before I sort of finish up, the International Sport Management Internship, it's something that we have in year 2 of the undergraduate degree. We have 150 hours of industry placement. We also have a course that is looking at preparing our students for those industry placements. Now, those industry placements, even in year 2, are really important, because it starts to build up and think about, what do I want to do? So if do I want to work in event management? Do I want to work in administration, or do I want to work in the marketing, media side of things? It just gives you those opportunities to be able to work out what it is. Now, in year 3 of this degree, we have 2 options. For our high achieving athletes, they can do a full-time for a whole semester internship placement, which totals about 580s within a sport organisation. So whether that's at the international level or national is something that we would work very closely with our students to get them into a place where they're passionate about, and that they hopefully will be able to get quality experience to be able to then hopefully open doors for them to get a job. And the other option is that students they can do 280 hours of placement within an organisation, and 2 of those great elective courses that we had on offer. Next slide, thank you, Stephen. So I guess, why is it important about the internship? And it's very, very important. And the things that we know, we've had students been doing full-time internships as part of their degree for nearly over 15 years. And this is with the Bachelor Sport Management degree that we have had on offer at our university. And we have a very good employment success rate because of the internship. It provides invaluable experience, employability, and networking within the industry. So what we do, we work very closely with our students. So how does it work? Well, we work and we'll be working with the World Academy of Sport to find the ideal industry placement for the student. So there is an option to complete the internship in India or overseas. And iStep can assist with short-term visas. So we know that when that comes, that's a choice for our students, then we try and get the best possible opportunity for them. And there are some exciting organisations that are already saying that they will love to be involved at the international level. Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, so can I? Yeah,
Yes.
so I think all of you who are listening, so what we are trying to tell you here is, so this is typically for those students. I can see a couple of questions or couple of chats on, I'm in commerce, so will this course help me? So this course is primarily a business management program. So we are talking about bachelor's in international sports management. So it's primarily a management, but also skilling you on the sports industry side of it. What the students who will benefit out of it are the students who are keen to make a career in sports industry. So normally what happens, most of us, we want to play, and then after a year, maybe after year 12, your parents will say, oh, we are not sure whether you'll be able to make a career as an athlete or not, so stop playing and focus on your studies. So the advantage of the degree is, we want you to continue to play as long as your age allows you, your fitness allows you, and at the same time learn something which can help you make a great career in the same industry. So I think there is no second thoughts about athletes or sports players love to be on the ground, always love to talk about the sports industry at a bigger perspective. But a formal education qualification normally misses in the scheme of things. So what we are trying to do here is, we are saying, even if you are in India, you're in Delhi, Bombay, Pune, wherever you are, after your year 12, you can study this entire degree completely online in India with an option to go to Australia, do a small internship. We can help you get the short-term visas. But yes, primarily, while you continue to play, there is this degree which is at an international standard, so will give you enough options, enough network to make a career in the sports industry. Yeah, back to you, Sue. I just thought maybe it's been long I'm hearing, so let me say something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think on the matter of time, Nikhil, I'd like, I think we'll come to the end of our presentation. I'm not sure if you want to add any more further, or Stephen would like to add any more further. So what we've done today is we've provided you a very quick overview of some of the career opportunities in sport. And I noticed that, there's some of the questions on here about, I want to be, like playing a sport, I want to go on and get a career in actual professional sport. But sometimes that can be only very few people make those to the high level. But the other way, if you love sport, in being involved in it, is that there's a lot of job opportunities and career opportunities actually managing the sport. There's a lot of different ones that have been quite exciting. So, and we've just given you a quick overview about one option that you can do with further education.